What's up, Titans Tube? This is going to be a recap of the Titans vs. Vikings matchup in Week 1, where the Titans lost, unfortunately, 25-16. And this video is going to be more just like a podcast kind of feel type video. We're just going to talk about the game, give our reactions, nothing fancy or anything like that. So who knows how long this might go, but there is a lot to get to this game.
There is.
We were actually at the game. You might be able to tell if you're watching. We got some redness on our face.
You did. Well, yeah, you're pretty sunburned.
Yeah.
And on your arms too, man.
Sunscreen is for wimps anyway. I don't care. I was there, loud and proud.
Yeah, but we were both at the game, and if you wanted to see our thoughts during the game, you should follow us on Twitter and Snapchat, because we were tweeting and snapping during the game.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it went downhill. The game did not end well.
It went downhill for sure.
But okay, before we start talking about that, tell us all what happened.
Let's start with the pros. Let's start with the few positives we can take away, because there are a few negatives that we are definitely going to be going on and ranting about.
Just a few negatives, though.
So the pros, obviously, is the first half. That's pretty much it. We had a 10-0 lead in the first half. We were looking good. The defense was playing lights out. We were shutting them down as we expected. The offense kind of had to take some time to get going, but we did put together a few drives, put 10 points on the board. And I mean, if you got a 10-0 lead at halftime, that's really nothing too big to complain about, since this team has won 5 games in 2 years. And the Vikings are coming off an NFC North Division championship, making a playoff appearance there. So the positives that I took away was Tajay Sharp is what we thought he was. He looks to be the real deal. He made some plays for us. He was moving the chains. That's Mariota's go-to guy, obviously. Definitely a guy that we can look at to have a reliable set of hands. He caught everything thrown his way, so it's good to know that we definitely hit. I'm sold. We hit on Tajay Sharp. That guy can play football. He's probably going to be our number 1 receiver.
Oh, I think for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Tajay looked great. Not just good. I originally wrote down that Tajay looked good, and no, he looked great.
Yeah.
I feel like the catches he was making weren't just like, just wide open catches or where he found the soft spot in the zone. I mean, he was making tough catches, like in between players. A few of them I thought, like when I saw Mariota throw him, I'm like, man, that could be picked off, and Tajay Sharp came down with him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Tajay Sharp.
The tough, uncontested catches.
I don't know how many times I stood up, waving my hand first down, going, Tajay Sharp!
Yes.
Like, seriously, that dude was moving the chains.
He really was.
Tajay was great today.
Yeah,
I think we found a dime.
Most definitely, yeah. Good for him. That's one of the few that I have written down here. The only other thing that I have here for the pros is that we shut down the best running back in the NFL and one of the best running backs of all time. We went into this game knowing that if we shut down Adrian Peterson, we would definitely win the game. But of course, as we should have known, the Titans let it slip away again, even though we did what we were supposed to do on defense. What did he have? He didn't even have 2 yards per carry.
Adrian, so we held Adrian. He had 19 carries for 31 yards. That's a 1.6 yard average.
Oh,
that is, if we were holding one of the best backs in the league or all time to a 1.6 average, we should win that game, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his worst game in his career is, but that definitely has to be one of the least productive games that he's ever had. And, man.
So anyways, let's talk about the offense first. Kind of pros and cons. Obviously, we've already mentioned Tajay Sharp, our rookie, who was looking good. Let's get into some of the so-called exotic smash mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll be honest. When we took the opening possession and came out, I liked the formation I saw. We had Henry and Murray were both out there.
Yeah, I like that.
I liked it too. I was kind of surprised. I did not think it was going to be like that. And I was like, so this is the exotic. Yeah. And I know Henry was moved in motion a few times. And honestly, I think a positive, especially in the first half, was I felt like on every early down, first and second down, we were getting pushed up front with the offensive line and positive yards, at least 3 to 4 yards on first down, 3 to 5 yards maybe. Nothing big. There was no breakaway runs, but if you're getting 4+ yards on first down, like I feel like
that's what that smash mouth football.
Exactly.
Right, that's what it is. And yeah, like you were saying with both Henry and Murray being in there at the same time, like the first touchdown we had, I thought that was a great play call by by the offense, where we faked the run with Henry and then swung Murray out there in the flat and just threw him the ball. I think that's great when you can utilize both backs when they both have receiving capabilities, but they're both smash mouth type of runners at the same time. So I thought that was great. But at the same time, there were some very questionable play calls and approaches that we took to this game when we're trying to instill a smash mouth mentality.
I agree.
One that jumps out to me was there was a 3rd and 1 where we got a little too exotic and not enough smashing in the mouth.
I just want to say, like, literally, I have these exact same notes, and we didn't discuss this stuff at all.
Well, all right, we had the same takeaways. But
I have 3rd and 1 that we got too exotic in quotation marks. So, like, literally, look.
Right.
Look.
Well, shoot.
Don't get too exotic, wimped out in a few 3rd and shorts. I have it somewhere else, too.
Yeah, there's too much exoticness happening. The play I'm talking about where Mariota, it was 3rd and 1, he took the snap, he faked it like he was going to sneak it, and then he throws a lateral across the field to Henry.
I thought originally he faked like he was fumbled it. Like he mishandled the snap.
And so he's going back to the ball?
Because I thought he just grabbed it and bent down.
Yeah.
So, like, under the offensive line, like he had dropped it. And then he threw it laterally, like, not forward. We needed 1 yard.
Yeah. And we threw it behind him.
We threw it behind him.
Like, there comes a point where we can't just keep getting too cutesy and rinky-dinkity with these play calls. Just line up and play football. Just give it to Henry up the middle or just do something more simple and less like... I feel like that's something you see in college football or something like that. Like, Mariota can play NFL football at the pro level. He can be a professional quarterback. You don't need to have him do all these fake things and option reads here and there, even though that does work from time to time. But yeah, like getting a little too fancy with it.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we were on their side of the 50-yard line when that play occurred.
Yeah,
it was midway through a drive. We had been driving. We get the 3rd and 1, like kind of almost in field goal range if we were to get another first down, and like. Early on where the run game had been getting, positive yards every first down early on, and I felt like there was no confidence either in the offensive line or the smash mouth. If you can't get the short yards on 3rd down, like, you can't call yourself a smash mouth run game.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that just kind of killed that drive, and any drive that stops at midfield is kind of disappointing because you're getting to the scoring territory there. All right, so for the smash mouth theme that we had going for us, what we were looking at in the preseason, where we were dominating in the running game, quite honestly. The yards per carry in the game between Murray and Henry weren't that impressive, but the number of carries is what bothers me. Between them, we gave them the ball 18 times, and we got 45 rushing yards out of them, which is a little bit ridiculous because we led the game for a large portion of the game. We had
at least the whole half, for sure.
That 10-0 halftime lead, then we lost the lead, I think, late in the 3rd quarter. But it's still a close game. You can't go away from that philosophy if that's what you're trying to instill and put forward, that this is what kind of team we are, this is what we're going to do, and we give them the ball 18 times between them. And then I look at Mariota's stats, and he threw the ball 41 times. That's not smash mouth, in my opinion. The Murray and Henry count has to go up to 30-plus carries. Mariota needs to throw the ball 25, 30 times a game, not 41 times. And it's not like we got behind. We had a lead that we were trying to, or we fell behind and we're trying to catch up to a lead. We had the lead, and yet we still only gave the ball to our Thunder guys 18 times, which is kind of, I don't know, it just makes you kind of wonder what we were doing.
I felt like we came out of the second half as if we were trailing by double-digit points, because we got completely away from the smash mouth football, and it was still, I mean, yeah. I didn't see it. I remember one time it was late in the 3rd, and we had already kind of, is that when we got down? When we started, it was.
Started to lose. We were down 10-6, I think, and then Mariota threw the interception for a touchdown, and then they missed the extra point, so it was 12-10.
I just remember there's one time late in the second half where where Murray got a run, and I remember turning and being like, that has to be only like his 3rd touch this half. Mm-hmm. Like, the majority of those 18 carries between Murray and Henry were in the first half for sure.
Yeah.
And we got down in the fourth quarter, so we couldn't just run it. But we came. I think it disappeared even in the third quarter when we weren't losing yet.
And surprisingly, a lot of their touches came on receptions, and they were effective in the passing game, which that's almost kind of backwards. Like, I liked how we used them in the passing game.
Yeah, nothing wrong with utilizing them in the passing game, but don't let that take away from the running game.
Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, it was almost backwards to see them having progress in the passing game and catching the football as opposed to running it. And it seemed like if we had a 3rd and short, Mariota would just line up in the shotgun. And I liked how he was dictating the offense. I liked how he was looking at things and diagnosing everything and making changes. And a lot of times it worked out that we threw a slant to Harry Douglas for a nice completion for a first down on 3rd and 1, which I questioned, but it worked out for us. So, I mean, I'm fine with it. But it just makes me question what about instilling that philosophy that we had talked about all offseason long. And we just kind of got away from that.
I agree.
And I did want to say something about how you said in the second half we came out like we were already trailing. It started with the kickoff of the second half. Like, we kicked off to Cordero Patterson, and it was his one and only kickoff return. Like, I don't know what we were thinking there. If there's one thing Cordero Patterson can do, it's return kickoffs. That's the only reason he's even on an NFL roster, because he literally is probably the best player in the league at doing that.
I mean, he doesn't play...
Look at his rookie year before nobody knew who he was. He returned touchdowns like it was nothing.
Like pancakes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Pancakes are easy to make, so maybe it's easy for him.
Exactly.
I just finished your metaphor for you.
Thank you.
So yeah, and then we kicked off to him. I don't know what we were doing. I don't know if that was a coach decision to try to pin him deep, or if Ryan Suckup just didn't get enough leg on it to make it a touchback. But yeah, he returned the only kickoff 61 yards in the other direction, and the Vikings started in Titan territory. The defense forced a 3-and-out, but they were already in field goal range, so they got their first points on the board. So there goes the momentum right away, right after the halftime break.
But even then, our next drive, I just felt like we were not doing the same stuff that we did in the first half. Like, there was no semblance of smash mouth or like trying to like really. If we had gone down and scored that drive, like, okay, we still got this. We're still in control of this game. We went to halftime up 10-0. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got an early break in the first half, but that next drive did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and there were still times where we moved the ball decently well, and then just the story of this game is the turnovers that were committed. Their offense didn't score a touchdown on us. I don't know. And our special teams gave up 3 points, and our offense gave up 2 touchdowns to the Vikings. So I don't know what that leaves for the defense to give up. I guess they gave up 3 field goals, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
But he missed how many?
Yeah, he did miss a couple, which worked out for us.
Yeah, because Blair Walsh sucks.
Yeah,
dude.
Seriously need to think about going kicker shopping, because he very well could have lost the game for you guys if we didn't give the Vikings 2 touchdowns. Literally gave the Vikings 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So that is incredibly frustrating, because our defense played really well, but somehow we didn't record a sack or a turnover. That's like the best you could ask your defense to play without recording a sack or a turnover. We did give up. Sean Hill perfected the game manager performance. I was impressed by some of the passes he threw. Like, he was throwing it into the tightest of tight windows. Our guys were on him, and the receivers made great catches into the tightest windows that I could ever imagine, and converting third downs, getting first downs that way. Very frustrating to see that. But yeah, I got to give credit to where credit's due. That was the only thing our defense, I think, lacked in was letting up third downs when we had them on third and long situations. Letting Sean Hill convert like that.
Well, I just think our pass defense in general, and I think it starts up front with the pass rush. There was no semblance of a pass rush today. I only remember one instance of where we even knocked Sean Hill down, and I don't
He's old.
know. You
just got to rattle him.
Exactly.
Like, hit him. Keep hitting him a few times.
Jarrell Casey, man, where you at, dude? And this may have been a schematic thing because we did do a fantastic job stopping the run.
Jarrell Casey did make some big plays in the run game. Yeah. I remember he tackled Peterson behind the line of scrimmage.
If we're talking about run game, I give us an A+, which I feel like we may have just overloaded focus on that in practice this week, being like let's let Sean Hill beat us. We're not gonna let Adrian Peterson beat us. And Sean Hill did what he needed to do. He completed the passes he needed to. He made no mistakes. He managed the game, which is the worst case scenario for the defense we had planned for. I feel like our defensive plan was do not let Adrian Peterson beat us. We'll leave it up to Sean Hill to do something, or to in his hands to manage the game perfectly, and he did.
Yeah, which is crazy because though he played well and managed the game well, I still don't think that their offense in general played well enough to win. We gave their defense 2 touchdowns still on top of that.
We did.
I mean, forget about it. Our defense played good enough to win the game, absolutely. But yeah, it's just those 2 turnovers. It's hard to pick and choose sometimes where you lost the game, but it's hard not to look at those 2 touchdowns we gave up. We lost the game by 9 points. I think Blair Walsh missed an extra point.
He did.
On one of those touchdown returns. So they got 13 points off turnovers immediately.
But so I did think our cornerback, our secondary was a little weak. And that, like I said, it may have been a schematic thing because we were so almost over-prepared for stopping the run to where we wanted to kind of give up those short passes and see if Sean Hill could actually make those throws. And just pay for the consequences if he did make them, and he made them. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm leaning towards that, but it did seem like whenever he needed to complete a 3rd and long, 3rd and distance, he would get it pretty easily.
And I feel like the coaching staff was probably okay with that. Okay, they just got a first down. That's fine. We still need to just focus on Adrian Peterson, stop the run game.
The problem is Sean Hill did that the whole game. And I'll give props to him, man. He did what he needed to do.
Can somebody cover Kyle Rudolph? For goodness sakes, he made so many big catches for them this game. Mm-hmm. He was Sean Hill's go-to guy. I think Stephon Diggs also had a good game for him.
He did.
But, man, Kyle Rudolph, I just feel like he was open, and even when he wasn't open, he was open and still caught the ball.
Yeah, Diggs at least made some great catches over our cornerbacks and, in tight coverage. I feel like, Rudolph...
He was open a lot.
Yeah.
He got open. I don't know whose job it was or who may have been blowing coverages. Not trying to point fingers at any individuals, but... just collectively the pass defense, I think struggled in part because there was no pass rush.
Pass rush. I think that's the focus. We got to get more of a pass rush if we want our secondary. I mean, if we're giving him over 5 seconds to throw the ball, he's going to find an open.
A game manager will always make the right decision, like Sean Hill did.
Exactly.
So, man, that was super, super struggling.
It's got to be deflating for the defense to play really solid the whole game and then still lose the game. If we only held their offense to field goals and they even missed a field goal. I feel
did they miss 2 field goals and an extra point?
Did they miss 2? Yeah, well, the
one
second
of them was
field goal
a
they missed.
At
the end of the half. But yeah, they missed 2 field goals. So any defense that holds an offense to only field goals and 2 of them are missed, you got to win that game. There's no excuses. You have to win that game.
It's the turnover battle again tells the story.
And we held Adrian Peterson to 1.6 average. If you read off these stats to me without knowing the score, I'm thinking we won the game. Just if you're reading off offensive rushing, passing, and receiving stats.
Even just the box score, Mariota threw 1 pick. Okay. Oh, Mariota fumbled. Oh, DeMarco Murray fumbled. Okay, but still, we had more yards than them. We had more first downs with them. But if you look at how they scored touchdowns immediately off of those turnovers there.
I mean, yeah, they both went for touchdowns. Pick 6 and the fumble return.
And then DeMarco Murray put the ball on the ground again after those 2 touchdowns,
honestly,
which is soul-crushing.
And I tweeted this, I think that was the 3rd possession in a row we had turned it over.
We didn't see any of this in preseason. We didn't put the ball on the ground at all. Or at least DeMarco Murray.
We were looking like Virginia Tech out there against UT. Did you watch the game? Because they turned the ball over so many times.
They fumbled the ball every single time.
But yeah, and I kind of think it was a wake-up call for our team, kind of preseason. is just preseason. I know we said that, but honestly, this game kind of proved it. Like that stuff didn't happen for us in preseason because we.
But ball security, that's not something.
It's correctable for sure.
Yeah.
And all I'll say is this: if DeMarco Murray continues that issue, we have a pretty capable backup running back to take his position.
Seriously, so he cannot put the ball on the ground a lot like that because
Even though I will say,
I
think Henry in those runs kind of struggled, but it was kind of a welcome call for him too. He wasn't able to just power through everyone like he was in preseason.
Yeah, when he looked good on catching the ball, which is completely backwards coming out of college. Like no one ever threw him the ball at Alabama. But then he caught some nice passes, especially in the first half for us. He had a nice reception.
He did.
Let's see. I want to go to a few more things too about just the whole coaching aspect of it, and I think our coaches and coaching is partially can take some blame for this, and not just the fact that we seem to not be the smash mouth team that we've been preaching this whole offseason, but just from some in-game decisions. Like I said earlier, we kicked off to Cordero Patterson and allowed him to make a return at the start of the second half. On the Vikings' last field goal, I believe there was about 3.5 minutes left. The game was 22-10 at the time. We had made the stop on third down. So we knew either way, whether they made or missed the field goal that they were going to attempt, we would need to score 2 touchdowns. And from stopping them on that third down, we had 3 timeouts. We let the clock run all the way down. We didn't save time, and I feel like clock management has to be a little bit better at that point, because you have 3.5 minutes. You need 2 touchdowns. You got to save some time on the clock for your offense, because we eventually did get a touchdown, but by the time we did, there was 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah. I honestly kind of think, and this is just my vibe, that they had kind of already, given
conceded
up on the game.
game.
Yeah, conceded the game, where it's like, yeah, we may get a touchdown late, but it's kind of like a garbage time touchdown. Like the chances of us actually pulling this back, were kind of impossible. And I definitely felt the crowd felt that, one, because everyone was leaving. 2, I kind of just got that vibe from the coaching staff too, with stuff like that. Like, oh well, yeah, we may get a touchdown late, but that's all right. Just kind of to boost confidence for next week. Yeah. No, it was only a 2-possession game. Like there have been. I kept on telling myself,
40 seconds.
If we were to come back and win this, like, would that be the craziest thing I've seen in the NFL? And it's no. Like I've seen crazier stuff in the NFL. Like it's possible. For sure. I'm like, no, we are staying till the end of this game for sure. But
yeah, and then after we got that last touchdown, something else I don't really understand is that we went for 2. So we got the touchdown. We were down by 9 points. If we kick the extra point, that makes it an 8-point game. So we're still in the game. So all we have to do is recover an onside kick.
It's an easy task.
Yeah, recover the onside kick, which is always unlikely, and then score a touchdown, and then we're back in it with the 2-point conversion. Instead, the game ends after that touchdown because we going ahead and go for the 2, and then we don't get it. So then the ensuing onside kick is meaningless. Scoring the touchdown is meaningless because it's still a 9-point game, and we still need 2 scores. I thought the purpose of coming back is that you score a touchdown, you can make it a 1-possession game, then you choose not to because you take the risky chance of going for 2 when you don't need it at that time. You can just kick the extra point, make it a 1-possession game, and give your team a chance to live another play.
See, I feel like that was just in the attitude of the vibe of like they've already kind of conceded it. Like, might as well go ahead and try for 2 kind of thing. I didn't think it was. I did. If I were the coach, I would have kicked the extra point for sure. Like, exactly. You want to, if you're down, you try to extend the game as long as possible. Like, you want to add every second. When you want to make the game, you want to just keep on extending the game, live to play another play. Yeah. Which it was a big risk going for 2,
and it was unneeded at that time.
It was, but eventually, I can also see at the same time, eventually we were going to need a 2-point conversion. So
why not take the safer play first? Take the safer point first, and then go for the 2 when you have to. We didn't have to at that time.
But we were going to have to win the game eventually. Like, to tie the game, we would have had to go for 2. Whether then or the next touchdown, which we would have had to get an onside kick and then score a touchdown and then get a 2-point conversion. So I definitely would have, if I were the coach, I would have kicked the extra point. But at the same time, I do see the side of like, we're going to have to get a 2-point conversion sometime.
Unless it was like a momentum thing and we thought like, yeah, we're on a roll. We just scored. Let's go ahead and get the 2 now. But then if you don't, that's like a do or die play. Why do the do or die play that early? I don't know. But yeah, that's just how I see it. Yeah. I could be wrong.
No, I just see both sides of it. I see why. I think I see the reasons he went for 2 because we needed a 2-point conversion on one of those 2 touchdowns that we allegedly had to get. Mm-hmm. We got one of them. But I would have, if like you were saying, I would have kicked the extra point just to keep on extending the game.
It goes with another like coaching question that I have and what we were doing in that situation. I mean, I'm not an NFL coach, so of course
obviously, but we should be.
Yeah,
because we would have won that game, right?
We could have at least kicked the extra point and still been alive at the time of the onside kick.
Yeah, exactly. Giving the fans a little, like 30 more seconds to stay till the game mode's over.
Not to leave until we didn't recover the onside kick.
Yeah.
That'd been sweet.
Yeah. But also back to coaching, that stuff at the end of the game was huge. I also think back down to the 3rd and 1s, the multiple 3rd and 1s where we didn't follow through with this smash mouth. Like that, I think falls on the coaches. For sure. I don't know if they didn't have confidence in the line or the running backs or what, but I feel like if you're going to come out and say that you're a Smash Mouth football team with the Smash Bros, Thunder in the backfield, when it gets down to those 4th and short distances and on the opponent's side of the field, then you got to prove it to the NFL, not just this one game, but to the rest of the league. Like, when those short yard situations, are in the game, maybe late in the game, maybe we'll find ourselves, in that position late in critical games later. But like, you got to prove to that team, like, oh wow, this is a power smash mouth team. Like they're about to run it up our guts and get this down. And no, we shied away from it like multiple times.
Yeah,
and it made me so frustrated.
Maybe it's because we don't want to be too predictable. I mean, I guess that's a possibility. But if you want to be a Smash Mouth team, you're going to have to run it and know that the other team knows that you're going to run it, and you do it anyway, and you can.
Yes, and you have to, and I heard some people mention this after the game and post-game, you have to, if you want to be a Smash Mouth team, you have to impose your will upon the other team's defense. We were not imposing their will. I mean, we were not imposing our will. We're just trying to, like, play around with them. Like, maybe break a big play on this 3rd and 1 where I fake a knee or something. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. It was just pound the ball. That's what you want to be. If you want to be a tough-nosed team, pound the ball, get that yard, and then go from there.
just getting a little fancy. It is frustrating to see.
Okay, so another thing I didn't like about the offense, and I kind of think this was a coaching error too, is this right here. You have a Pro Bowl tight end on your team, one of the best tight ends in the league, and the only time he even sees targets is in garbage time. He got a few early, but still.
Where was he the whole game?
He should be just automatically get 5 to 7 targets a game, just schemed for him. And what were we doing? We didn't throw his way at all.
He's too good. Yeah, we didn't even try to throw his way. That was really frustrating to see. When he caught his first pass, I was like, well, there he is. I almost forgot about him.
Exactly.
How can I almost forget about the best player on our offense?
He ended up with three catches for 42 yards. Delaney Walker, Pro Bowl tight end. He had 94 catches last year.
And I think all those came in garbage time.
Yeah.
Were they on the second half?
I bet at least 30-plus yards of that were on one drive, which was the last touchdown drive, which was pretty much garbage time at that point.
Yeah.
And I remember him catching it on that drive, and I'm like, where has he been, dude? We haven't even looked his way. And I think Tajay Sharp got 11 targets. Yeah, okay. Sharp had 11 targets, which is a lot for a rookie.
Yeah, in his first game.
Yeah, in his first game. But Delaney, man, there's just going to be at least 5 to 7 plays where it's this play's going to Delaney Walker.
Yeah.
You're looking his way. He's the primary target. He's that good, and we just completely overlooked him.
And go his way early, too, so the defense is okay, we do have to account for this guy for sure, because he's one of the best receiving tight ends in the league. He's a huge weapon for him. He was the weapon for us last year. We needed to go his way.
He single-handedly carried our receiving core last year as a tight end.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was a shame to just not even like give him the opportunity, just not even throw his way. So that was a big thing, honestly, for me too. Like and I think that boiled down to kind of the offensive scheme. Like you kind of got to scheme for that a little bit. Like, oh, hey, we need to get Delaney Walker the ball or throw his way at least this amount of times. Which I felt like the team we came out with in the second half just was, I don't know what was on the field, man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we had a plan in the first half and we were executing that plan, minus a few little 3rd and 1s, but the second half it just fell apart, and mainly that's due to the turnovers but before that even I just didn't see the same like drive and the same.
Hey, you could attribute that to coaching. It's easy to throw it on coaching, but like adjustments, in-game adjustments. That's a huge part of being a head coach in football, or the head coach in the NFL. Making the adjustments, adjusting to the other team, making adjustments. And I feel like the Vikings did that way better than the Titans. They saw some things during halftime. They moved some pieces around, and they were able to. At least they put up field goals. They were putting up those kind of points, and then obviously their defense was able to make some huge plays for them. So it was disappointing to see us not be able to recover or build on the lead that we got in the first half. And I was going to say something about Delaney Walker as well.
Delaney Walker.
Man, I love Delaney Walker.
I love Delaney Walker too. Get him the ball, man. Someone get him the ball. Put me in that quarterback. I will throw that dude the ball. I also thought the Tajay Shark, because that dude is a beast.
Yeah, Tajay was awesome. Rashard Matthews did well too for the very few times we threw his way. I mean,
see. Here's the thing. Honestly, if you just look at break down the stats, even team stats compared to Minnesota, we did well across the board. But the telling stat is the turnover differential, where they beat us +3. 2 of those returned for touchdowns.
All in the second half.
Like that, there's no NFL team. And yet, you can quote me on this. No NFL team that's going to win consistently if you're -3 in turnover differential every game.
Yeah, tough to win any game. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's been done, but it's super rare. I was going to go back on what you were saying about the coaching and the offensive play calls. Like, there was a lot that Marcus Mariota was doing at the line of scrimmage. So he was making calls. I think the coaching staff has given him a lot of authority and leeway on seeing the defense and making adjustments on what he sees, and he was doing that a lot. So he might have been seeing something. He could have been changing some things up there in what he saw. And, it did work sometimes, but then sometimes there were some head-scratching things happening, and it's hard to know what Mariota saw as opposed to what the coaching staff would have originally called. But man, on Marcus's turnovers, it was sad to see. We have to remember that he's coming off a rookie year. He only played 12 games, and we're expecting him to break out and be this elite, wonderful quarterback. And I think he is and has that potential still, and he will. I think he will do that still this year.
Yeah.
But hey, he got hurt 12 games, so he hasn't played a full 16-game season. So maybe he can still be considered a rookie for these last 4 games to fill out a 16-game season. Because on that interception, man, that was a by-the-book rookie kind of play mistake. That was hard to watch.
We share a similar mind because literally when that play happened, I was like, turned to Amy, I was like, rookie mistake. But he's not a rookie anymore. But it was classic rookie mistake where he just got caught up in the moment, tried to panic, tried to do too much, flicked it, bad pass, bad read. Should have just taken the sack. A veteran quarterback would have taken the sack. Or thrown it away.
Could have thrown it away, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I would have rather him taken the sack because I feel like if he threw it away, he might have gotten kind of hit pretty hard.
Destroyed.
Yeah. But veteran quarterback, it was. Honestly, it was a rookie mistake. And, he's not a rookie anymore, but at the same time, we can't just act like he's Tom Brady reincarnated. I will say, with all the movement at the line and him changing stuff up, is something we did not see last year. There was a few times where I'm like, well, he probably changed that up and it didn't work out. But I just liked his overall comfortability. Comfortability.
Comfortability.
I liked how
comfortable he was.
I liked how comfortable. It's so late in the day. I'm so tired. The sun drained me. Yes, I liked how comfortable he was just kind of managing the offense.
He has definitely a firm grasp of the offense, or more, like I said,
at least
an authority over the offense.
At least in the first half, it felt that way. Once the turnovers started happening and rolling, I felt like it kind of started slipping away from everyone. And the first pass was just rookie mistake, even though he's not a rookie. Second one was just, I think he was honestly reading it right because he was trying to pull it back in, but there was just too much indecision beforehand.
Between him and DeMarco Murray, you're talking about?
And that could be just DeMarco's new, like some of the running schemes are new, but I still think if you're doing, a run option, you have to be decisive. Even if you handed it to DeMarco and DeMarco got tackled right away, that's better than what happened. Like, you just have to be decisive on that play.
That's the problem with read option. That's the risk you take. Like, it's probably a thing where Marcus put it in his belly to take the ball, and he put it there long enough for DeMarco to be like, okay, he's giving me the ball now. So he kind of held it tighter, and then Marcus is like, oh, wait, I see something, and he tried to pull it out, and it was too late, and then he got dropped on the ground.
And I just think that was the wrong time to run that play. I don't know. I like the read option kind of deeper in the red zone because I feel like teams
goal line.
Like goal line options. When we're already kind of backed up to we might have been within our own 20, trying to run a read option.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's not Smash Mouth.
Obviously, it didn't work. Yeah, it's
that's
too
what Mariota did in
cutesy.
college.
Like, pound that, throw a short pass, let's get some yards, let's make positive progression upfield, and then start, breaking into that once we've got them on their heels a little bit, once the defense has been on the field a little more, so where they're a little, kind of looking around, don't know where to go. But
and it probably sounds like we're being very critical and maybe overreacting a little bit, but man, I like this team. I see the potential in this team.
We're criticizing them because we love them and because we see what they can accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the first game. Let's try to rein it in. This is the first game of a 16-game season. There's a lot of football to play. A lot of people say that the biggest jump in a team season is from game 1 to game 2. That's when they figure it out the most and what they can do and how they gel together and how well they perform on the field. So we'll see how we come out against Detroit. But man, and it's so disappointing to see our team play well. I mean, we played at least as good as Minnesota if you look at the stats. In terms of, we said it multiple times now, in yards, first downs, time of possession. It's just the turnovers in the second half is the story of the game.
Which is honestly just a condition of like a young, inexperienced team.
Yeah.
Which honestly you can't deny. We have a young quarterback, a young head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really his first full year. Yeah, he's coached before, but with the new team.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's been the lead guy.
Our number one receiver is a rookie. We have a rookie in the backfield.
Yeah, Heisman winner, a rookie right tackle.
Like, it's a young team, and those were just turnovers are just part of being a young team. Yeah, we have the talent, obviously, because the stats were even across the board. Like, we can move the ball, we can catch the ball, we can run the ball,
we can stop the opposing offense.
The ball.
Yeah, on defense.
On defense. We just can't turn the ball over.
I think we were driving well before Marcus threw that first interception. We were almost in field goal. Or we were. It was like an 80-yard interception.
Which I'm saying, the only thing wrong with that was a rookie. That was on Marcus, and I think he'll accept that blame. Like, that drive was good. We were at least going to get a field goal out of it, barring something crazy happening. Oh, wait, something crazy happened.
Yeah.
Threw an interception.
It's a huge point swing there. We could have had 3. Instead, they got 6.
And we just imploded from there. The wheels didn't just come off. They came off and they like scurried all across town.
Yeah, they rolled all the way up to Minnesota.
Yeah. Anyway, so overall, give it a quick, just overall summary.
There were some good things to take away. I mean, like we said, we moved the ball up and down the field decently well. We had over 300 yards of offense against one of the top 5 defenses in Minnesota. Can't turn the ball over, like we've said 1,000 times, and they absolutely made us pay for that. On the defensive side of the ball, it was outstanding in the run defense, and yeah, we were playing a backup quarterback and a game manager, but we need to see a little bit better side of the pass rush and possibly getting a few turnovers on our own. Like, yeah, we were -3 in the turnover category. That killed us. Defense could have helped us out in getting the ball for the offense in the same way. And, yeah, just putting pressure on a really old backup quarterback can do a lot to his psyche, I think, and to his body more than anything. Next week against Detroit, we cannot turn the ball over ever because their offense is on another... let me try that again. Their offense in Detroit is on another level, at least in terms of passing, than Minnesota's. I mean,
Yes.
they don't have Adrian Peterson, but they have Matthew Stafford who can throw the ball across 7 football fields at once. That dude has an arm. They just put up 37 points against the Colts. If we don't put pressure on Matthew Stafford next week, we're going to be in for a long
We better
haul.
have a pass rush. Yeah, definitely.
For sure, and the offense is going to have to put up more points on the board than they did this week and take care of the ball. So, yeah, we have a tall task next week, and we travel to Detroit. They're going to be pumped up after an emotional win in Indianapolis. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. This was definitely a big learning experience, though, for the team.
One more last thing I would say with the smash mouth. Be who you say you're going to be.
Yeah.
Like, don't shy away from those third and shorts.
Be that
fourth and shorts.
identity.
Get those small, those power yards. Those.
Unless the plan was to tell everyone we were going to be Smash Mouth and do all these fakes and gadgets and oh, just kidding, here's what we're actually going to do.
No, that's not who we should be. We have 2 running backs that are the face of this Smash Mouth offense, and I think we need to stick with it. We got away from that. And
how about
turnovers can quickly get any team out of their plan, especially back to back in a row with the other team scoring so fast. But I think we started getting away from it even before that, honestly, before the turnovers.
So moving forward, some positives. There is a lot of football to play. It's a long season. We can turn this thing around in an instant. Starting next week with Detroit, we got to put this game behind us. Got to have short memories. It felt good though. To talk and get this frustration off of our chest.
We know you're frustrated just like us.
It helps. It helps to talk about it. Find a friend and just go off on them and talk about how the Titans were extremely frustrating this week 1. But also some other good things that happened though that we can take away this week outside of our game is that 2 other teams in the AFC South lost to. I didn't realize this, but the AFC South and NFC North pretty much just played each other this week. Yeah. The only team from that division to lose to one of ours was the Bears, which I don't think they have super high expectations this year. No. And the Texans are probably one of the favorites by national analyst standards to win the AFC South. So that Houston beat the Bears, but the Jaguars lost, the Colts lost, which is good for the Titans.
Anyways, it's first game, 0-1. I mean, come on. The Panthers are 0-1 too, and they went to the Super Bowl last year. So we're looking at the positives. I like our team. Let's just continue to improve.
Remember the last 3 years we won the first game and we were like, oh, this is the year the Titans are turning it around.
True.
And now this year we lose the first game and we're like, oh no, same old Titans, here we go. But maybe this is the backwards trend that's going to happen. We're going to win 13 out of the next 15 games played. I'm just trying to do the math real quick. 13-3, that's the season we're going to have.
Yeah, maybe. You don't know. Anyways.
Anyway, yeah.
Let's prepare for the Lions. Let's get this one out of our system, put it behind us, learn from the mistakes, and let's go face Detroit. Up in Detroit. You going to the game?
It won't be easy.
Let's go to the game.
Yeah.
Anybody have Detroit tickets?
Anyone that has Detroit tickets or can provide a passage, flight, or
flights,
by bus.
Hotel, probably. We probably need some hotels,
room
and
and board
food.
would
So
be good.
hit us up.
That'd be sweet.
And we'll see you next week.
In
Detroit.
And stay tuned. We're going to come out with a video previewing the Lions game and break that down a little bit more specifically and what we need to do to win the game there. Probably not turn the ball over. I'm probably going to just throw that out there. We haven't talked about this episode, but I'm going to say no turnovers from the offense.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Key number 1, no turnovers.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks for watching or listening or however you received this information.
Media, you're hearing this, hearing my voice talk to you through your eardrums and your mind.
Thanks for tuning in. If we left anything out, I mean, we kind of just did this right after the game. Didn't really talk about it much, but we might have left.
We didn't even talk with each other.
Yeah,
so.
we don't like to talk to each other outside of this.
I hate you.
Yeah, it's not good.
Shut up. Just finish this.
Let me finish this.
Shut up. Okay.
But yeah, leave a comment. Hit us up on Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube. Let us know. The usual.
Let's get it out of our system.
It's out. All right, I'm good.
Right.
I can sleep well tonight. Thanks for being my muse.
Thanks for listening, Titans tubers. We love you guys.
We
love the Titans.
Until next video, we will never lose faith. Let's go.